In this video, I want to discuss the secrets of Divana Tendi, the things about her that we don't know and that we're curious about as we're about to enter the fifth and maybe the final season of Star Trek Lower Decks. Before we begin, let me say that I have no inside information whatsoever. When this video is being put together in late June 2024, 4 seasons of Lower Decks have already aired. The 5th season has already been written and is in various stages of production. So my predictions here will either be proven right or wrong very shortly when the 5th season episodes begin to roll out in a few months. So let's get started. The main secrets of Tendi that I'm most curious about are her side, her rock star status within Orion society, and her life as a trained assassin. Tendi may have been trained from birth to be an assassin, but the interesting thing is she's never assassinated anyone. I don't think she's even killed anyone for any reason, let alone assassinated someone. Not even a non-player character in a holodeck. Let's break it down. If Tendi had, in fact, killed people during her life on Orion before we met her, we would expect to find several things. First, we'd expect a cynical, hard-edged personality. Tendi's wide-eyed, super-enthusiastic personality is the complete opposite of that. How many assassins have you seen in fiction who have Tendi's personality? Answer, 0. And there's a reason for that. Second, if Tendi had killed people in the past, we would expect her to have a fear of accidentally killing again, unintentionally. She has no such fear. Note that accidentally killing someone was an event that shaped Worf's early life. If Tendi had killed people before her time on the Cerritos, and if she remained completely unbothered and unaffected by having killed people, that would require us to believe that Tendi would be a psychopath or a split personality type. No hint of that. None whatsoever. Third, if Tendi had killed in the past, and if those killings had taken place in Federation territory, we would expect that Federation authorities would be working to find the perpetrator and to bring her to justice. Tendi is fearful of some things, but being discovered by Starfleet or by local police is not one of them. Tendi may have parts of her past that she wants to hide, but not that way. So that begs the question, how could Tendi be a trained assassin without ever having killed anyone? The only answer that makes any sense is that Tendi absorbed and excelled in all the secondary parts of pirate and assassin training, but she drew a line in the sand when it came to that last part, actual assassinations, even in practice. Orions certainly would have used holodeck technology to train up-and-coming assassins. Tendi could and did master all the other skills that were taught to her. But just as she walked out of the holodeck when Mariner became too involved in the Vindicta program, so too, I believe, did Tendi refuse to participate in holodeck training on Orion when the training involved killing others, either real people or non-player characters. Tendi is skilled enough to kill if she has to, and she knows where all the organs and vulnerabilities are in a body. But no assassinations. The closest she's come was probably something like what we saw with Matilda's training in Leon the Professional, practicing on a target from a distance with paintballs in place of real bullets.
Can we try with real bullets now?
Question. If Tendi refused to go along with that one crucial step in Orion assassin training, then on the Orion homeworld, where the crime syndicate is ruthless, then how did she get away with that? If someone was paying for her training, then someone was losing on a big investment. The only answer that makes any sense. It was Tendi's family that was paying for and supervising her training, and it looks like Tendi's parents are atypical of families in the Orion syndicate, in that in Tendi's house, the rule is people first, then money. When young Tendi established that she might do the other things, but no assassinations, her parents did not go the route of either honor killings nor of putting a price on her head. Instead, they were flexible with their firstborn daughter, and they hoped that they could make it work. Tendi is reacted to on Orion as if she were a rock star. Why?
Are we going to talk about how everyone's in awe of Tendi? She does command an unexpected gravitas for someone so excitable. It's on the house, mistress.
It can't be because she's a master seductress or dominatrix, because she clearly isn't.
Relax, have a drink, get lascivious.
I'm not interested in any of the sexy nonsense, Ingrita. I'm here for Erica's ex.
It also can't be because she's a master assassin, because she's clearly not. As the previous segment in this series hypothesized, she was trained as an assassin, but she's never actually assassinated anyone. There's only one answer that makes any sense. People are in awe of Tendi because she did something in her world that is as wildly rare as becoming a rock star would be in our world. Tendi was born into an elite crime syndicate Orion family, and she had a defined role planned for her, and Tendi not only shook the box, but she escaped from it. She fled from her whole society, and fled from her family, to Starfleet, and to a better life, and she made it work out against the odds. Everyone who looks at Tendi wishes they were her, that they had the balls to do what she did. This implies a few things that I think most of us already suspected. That Orion culture generally sucks, that ordinary Orions hate their culture and hate their assigned roles within that culture, and hate how they're forced to live in a way that makes them feel lousy about themselves, and they hate how Orions are perceived in the galaxy, as pirates and lowlifes, incapable of being anything different. The main reason that Tendi doesn't straight up hate Orion culture from top to bottom is that Tendi is like K'Ehleyr.
Not even a bite on the cheek for old time's sake?
Both women found a place within a society better than their own, and had carved out a productive life for themselves within it. As another iconic woman in another franchise said,
I never look back, darling. It distracts from the now.
the interesting thing is, Tendi has all the prerequisites needed to take down and reshape all of Orion's society. She has the physical combat and pirate skills equal to the best Orions. Young Orions are in awe of her. She can articulate the philosophy that made her walk away from her old life.
Why would you lie?
But people just expect Orions to act like that, so it's always worked for me. I never knew any other Orions back in Ohio, so no one ever checked me on it.
Yeah, I get that. It's hard when you feel like people expect you to act a certain way, but you just gotta be yourself. It doesn't matter what other people expect.
Note that Worf also changed his own society for the better, and he did this while being thought of as a traitor and as a pariah, which is a burden that Tendi does not have. Worf killed and then years later also killed, ensuring that an honest man would lead Klingon society. Tendi can change her own society in an even more fundamental way. The thing is, if Tendi were to succeed, we Earthers would find the new Orions less interesting. The Orion people would be happier if they were like Tendi, enthusiastic, inquisitive, productive, and happy with who they are. But if Orions as a group became more like, say, betazoids with green skin, the alien species would simply seem less intriguing to us. So it's a double-edged sword. If Tendi has any side to her personality, I don't think we've ever seen it.
because she served on the Enterprise for like 1 minute.
What was a Pajak? That guy can do anything. And what a snack.
She will momentarily wear the badass or dominatrix personas in order to remove an obstacle or to accomplish a mission, but that's it. Ingrita, the Ursula-like head of the Hump Dungeon on Orion, declares that males would fall at Tendi's feet without any need for pheromones on Tendi's part, and that causes Tendi to blush. It's unclear if Tendi is embarrassed because what Ingrita relates is true, or because it's wildly untrue and Tendi doesn't want her friends and shipmates to think that she was really like that. I think we're not shown any hint of Tendi's side for a couple of reasons. In universe, I wonder if Tendi is repulsed and weirded out by the sex-drenched aspect of Orion culture. If so, her personality would have wanted to distance herself from that culture and from all aspects of sex. She sees any side to her as potentially undermining her career in Starfleet, so she's career-focused and stays away from all that. In the realm of the Lower Decks show creators, they're anxious to establish Tendi as an individual, which means going against the stereotype. Female Orions in a slave/dominatrix context are so overwhelming that to show Tendi either being attracted to someone or in any kind of seductress mode would remind us of that stereotype. In a superficial way, Tendi reminds me of Altera, the female lead in the film Forbidden Planet. The creators of Forbidden Planet intended Altera to be like Eve in the Garden of Eden, human in form but having no libido whatsoever, until the crew of the C-57D awakened it, especially Captain Adams. Tendi can't be like Eve because she comes from Orion in the Star Trek universe, and that Orion is a sex-drenched culture. But Tendi could push her libido into the background. But if that is what were happening, we would expect that incidents that push emotional urges to the forefront would have let that side of Tendi loose, like the Bendy syndrome incident with T'Lyn, and nothing like that happened. So it's most likely that Tendi has a naturally occurring, very low libido, which is culturally and biologically very atypical for Orion females. I think Tendi's side can only be awakened under very specific circumstances that she has yet to encounter, like true love with an ideal partner. I hope you enjoyed this musing on Tendi's deepest, darkest secrets, and we'll see if they turn out to be right. Thanks for watching.